10% of organisations, 100% of fighter pilots have a very important meeting every single day. It's called a debrief. We hash out what went right, what went wrong.
When we fail, we release a lot of toxic chemicals in our body that halve our brain power and halve the amount of energy we have inside of our body. If you take a negative experience and you come up with a positive action, something we can do the very next day, you immediately turn that chemical reaction around. We get in behind closed doors, hash out what went right, what went wrong, what we're going to do again, but we're definitely not going to do again. And the aim here is to take away 1, 2, maximum, a maximum of 3 what we call lessons learned.
The best fighter pilots are the best at debriefing. Debriefing's so important. In our community, we say the debrief is more important than the mission itself.
It's the ability to say to ourselves, what are we trying to achieve here? What's happening now? Why are we not where we want to be? But most importantly, what are we going to do tomorrow?
It was developed back in the 60s by fighter pilots. The reason was because we lost too many. In World War II, 49 airmen died every day in accidents, in training, before they went into combat.
During the jet era, it was the Cold War, and America was investing 4 times as much in their equipment as the Russians. High technology, cutting-edge equipment, cutting-edge apps. They had the technology edge, but in combat, they were only winning 2 to 1. You could not invest 4 times as much as your competitor, only get double the result, and be sustainable as a business. Neither could we.
Thousands of fighter pilots, one squadron was winning 14 to 1 in the Vietnam War. 14 to 1. 7 times better than everyone else. Same industry, same tools, same training, but somehow 14 to 1.
And when they had a deep dive and investigated what they did, what they discovered was after every mission, they sat down and looked at areas where they could improve tomorrow.
That's when they built Top Gun. And at Top Gun, they educated fighter pilots on the skill of debriefing. It had nothing to do with the flying.
Debriefing was transformational for the world of fighter pilots. It improved our performance over 400%.
I made the mistake, I fess up, I fix it. These are the words and the culture and the ethos of a fighter squadron. And by taking that accountability, as I said, life gets easy, because all we've got to do is fix it.
The culture's called nameless and rankless.
Nameless and rankless means if you make a mistake, there's no repercussion to your career. Nameless and rankless means if you're the boss or you're the newbie, everyone is equal in this room. And we only ask 3 questions.
What is the result relative to where I need to be? What's the reason I'm not getting to my destination? And what am I going to do today to get closer to my goal?
And the minute you debrief and create that little bit of hope, that single task that you can do tomorrow, guess what? You feel great. You take a loss and turn it into a win.
And when you have hope, dopamine gets released. And when dopamine gets released, we feel good and we get things done.
And when you've got everything done, how do you think your workload goes from there? When we stop working and dealing with the same problems, the same issues every single day, we resolve them, we commit week by week to deliver on them, absolutely like a dog on a bone, they start to go away and we start to get the time we need to work on our business, to think expansively, to focus on revenue, to focus on sales, to focus on the things that generate the cash flow that allow us to grow.
So think about that for a minute. In your mind and culturally, how important is it for all of you to sit down at the end of the day and reflect on how you went?
Do you debrief that sales call where the answer is no? That tender response where the answer is again no? That operational inefficiency, those recurring errors, the things that seem to go wrong every single day, do you ever get to the bottom of it?
If you have repetitious issues inside your business, if you are in a rut, if you are stuck, if you're not innovating, if you fear that you're being made redundant, if you're fearing obsolescence, there's one way to get out of it, and that is through debriefing.